For thousands of years, the Galactic Council had ruled the stars. They created laws to control every species, every fleet, every weapon. Peace was their pride, and fear was their tool. No empire dared to break their rules, until humanity arrived. When humans entered the galactic stage, they were small, curious, and fast learners. They didn't have the biggest ships or the oldest technology, but they had something no one else did: imagination and defiance. They built things not because they were allowed to, but because they could. Soon whispers began across the stars. Scientists from other races spoke in fear about a secret project on Earth, Project Helios. It was said to be more than a ship. A moving fortress powered by a star itself. Some believed it was a myth, others believed it was a threat. When the Galactic Council demanded to see this ship, humanity refused. That refusal changed everything. In a single night, the Council wrote a new rule, Law X9. Humanity is forbidden to construct any supercapital vessel exceeding Council standards. To the aliens, it was safety. To the humans, it was an insult. No one told Earth what it could or couldn't build, and deep beneath the clouds of Jupiter, inside a secret orbital dock, engineers kept working. Sparks flew, engines roared. A shadow grew larger every day. The galaxy had written a law to stop humanity, but they were already too late. They called it Project Helios. But the engineers whispered another name, the Sunbreaker. It was humanity's pride. Built not to start wars, but to make sure no one could ever threaten Earth again. Hidden beneath the storm clouds of Jupiter, the ship slowly took shape. Every plate of armor was black as space, each cannon forged from rare metals mined on Mercury. Its heart was a living sun, a fusion core that burned hotter than anything ever made by human hands. Even from orbit, its glow looked alive, pulsing like it had a heartbeat. When the Galactic Council learned about it, fear spread like wildfire. To them, the ship was not protection. It was a crime. A violation of Law X9. They demanded the ship's destruction. They sent warnings, threats, even fleets to monitor Earth's space yards. Publicly, humanity agreed. The Council believed the project was cancelled. The shipyard fell silent. The records were erased. But secretly, the engineers kept working, hidden by loyal soldiers and powerful leaders who understood what the galaxy feared most: a free humanity. One night, the ship simply vanished. No signal, no trail, nothing. Some said it was destroyed. Others believed it was hidden beyond Neptune, sleeping in the dark. The galaxy celebrated its ban, but the humans smiled quietly, because they knew the truth. The Sunbreaker was not gone. It was waiting. Years passed. The galaxy believed humanity had given up its illegal weapon. Trade routes reopened and peace returned, at least on the surface. But far from the core worlds, a new power was rising. The Vile Dominion, a cold and ruthless alien empire, began conquering one system after another. They crushed every colony in their path and ignored the Council's orders to stop. Soon the Veil fleets reached human borders. Their ships were massive, covered in black armor that absorbed light. The first strike came without warning, an orbital bombardment on Mars. Millions died in seconds. The Council sent words of sympathy, not help. They still called humanity too dangerous to assist. Earth's leaders gathered in silence. They knew the Council would never protect them, so they turned to the one thing that could. A hidden message was sent. An old code forgotten by most, known only to those who built the forbidden ship. The transmission read only two words: Awaken Helios. Far beyond Neptune's orbit, deep in the frozen dark, sensors flickered to life. A massive hangar door began to open, releasing waves of golden light into the void. Metal groaned. Engines hummed. And then the stars reflected something that had been sleeping for years. A giant shadow, brighter than the sun itself, moved through space. The Sunbreaker was alive again. In command centers across the galaxy, alien admirals froze as their scanners detected impossible readings, energy beyond any known level. The Veil fleet prepared for war, but deep down every captain felt it. This battle would not be like the others. The silence before the storm had ended. Humanity had just returned to the fight. The Veil Dominion entered the Sol system like hunters entering a cage. Their fleets spread wide, confident and laughing at the weakness of humans. Thousands of alien warships blocked Earth's sun, ready to erase another primitive world, but then, every radar on every ship went silent. A strange pulse echoed through space, soft at first like a heartbeat. Then the stars dimmed. The darkness moved. Out from the edge of Neptune's orbit came a glow, golden and bright, tearing through the shadows like a sunrise. The Sunbreaker emerged, its colossal hull covered in radiant energy streams. It wasn't a ship anymore, it was a living storm forged in steel. The Veil commanders ordered all ships to fire. Missiles, plasma cannons, ion beams, everything shot toward the human warship. None reached it. The attacks dissolved mid-space, swallowed by an invisible field. Then the Sunbreaker responded. One beam of pure light cut across the blackness, slow and graceful, until it touched the Veil fleet. In that instant, space ignited. Entire armadas vanished. No wreckage, no signals. Just silence and expanding rings of fire. The remaining Veil ships tried to flee, but their drives failed. The Sunbreaker's gravity field held them still, like insects trapped in amber. Then another beam fired. From Earth, people watched the sky glow gold and red. For the first time in history, the night looked like dawn. In less than 5 minutes, the war was over. The Veil Dominion's greatest fleet had been erased. The galaxy's most feared law had been broken, and humanity had proven why it existed in the first place. The Sunbreaker powered down its weapons and drifted quietly among the stars. It had no pride, no anger, only purpose. The war ended before it truly began. The Veil Dominion, once proud, cruel, and feared, was gone. Whole star systems fell silent. Their fleets turned to drifting dust. Humanity had won, but victory came with a cost: fear. Across the stars, alien leaders whispered about the Sunbreaker. Some called it a weapon of justice, others called it a monster. The Galactic Council, shaken and desperate to stay in control, summoned Earth to answer for its crime. In the council hall, under the light of 1,000 stars, stood the human ambassador, a calm woman named Admiral Rhea Holt. Before her sat dozens of alien rulers, each afraid to speak too loudly. The High Counselor rose and shouted, "Humanity has broken Law X9. You have unleashed an abomination. You have made war illegal again." Rhea said nothing at first. Then she stepped forward and looked at them one by one. "Illegal?" she asked softly. "You watched as billions died. You called it peace. We built something to stop that. And you call it illegal?" The chamber fell silent. Even the council's light seemed dimmer. Rhea continued, "The Sunbreaker is not a crime. It's a reminder of what happens when you corner humanity." The council could not reply. No one dared to challenge her. After that day, a quiet message spread through the galaxy. Never push Earth too far. The law that once feared humanity still existed, but no one enforced it again. The galaxy had learned that banning power did not destroy it. It only made it patient. And somewhere, hidden among the stars, the Sunbreaker waited once more. Centuries passed. The galaxy changed. Empires rose and fell, but the story of the Sunbreaker never died. Some called it a myth. Others swore they had seen its golden light drifting in deep space. The Galactic Council still existed, older, weaker, more divided. And humanity had become quiet, almost forgotten. Then one night, deep in the Outer Rim, something impossible happened. Entire fleets belonging to a new alien alliance vanished without a trace. Their last transmission was filled with static. And a single word, light. Across hundreds of systems, old sensors reactivated. Long-range scans picked up an ancient power signature, one not seen for generations. The readings matched only one thing in the galaxy's history: Project Helios. In panic, the council called an emergency meeting. Old admirals shouted. Leaders trembled. Some wanted to prepare defenses. Others whispered that it was already too late. Out in the dark between stars, a massive shadow moved once more. Its hull shimmered with golden fire, its engines burning like a newborn sun. The Sunbreaker had awakened, not in anger but in duty. Every planet that had once feared humanity now sent pleas for help. And when they looked toward the stars, they saw it. A single human warship standing between the living and the void. The ship's lights brightened, casting long rays across the endless black. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy remembered why humanity was never meant to be underestimated. We don't seek war. The AI core of the Sunbreaker spoke softly. But when darkness comes, we shine. And in that moment, every world knew the legend was real and it had returned to protect them all.